One of the most important things in soap opera acting is reacting. This does not mean acting again.
Hey, it's me, it's JSB, and today on Acting is Reacting, it's a couple of things. It's part of my Songs of 24 series, because it's still 2024, I'm listening to songs with some connection to that number. But this time, unlike what I've been doing before, which is listening to tracks that reached number 24 in the charts, today we're listening to a track with 24 in the title. In fact, we're listening to two of them. So, it's a Gene Pitney song war as we listen to his tracks, 24 Hours from Tulsa and 24 Sycamore. And then, not a big favourite. Before we get into it, click like, click subscribe, and at the end, comment down below what you think of these songs and anything else that's on your mind. But before we get into the songs, I have to say that Gene was another favourite of my mum's when she was a wee lass. So is effectively another artist that I had known basically my whole life and liked. And we actually saw him together, I want to say the early 2000s, so it was probably about 5 or 6 years before he passed on. And he was still sounding pretty damn good at that point in time, I can tell you. Okay, so going into this, I don't really expect a fair fight with these two tracks, to be honest, but we'll start with his version of 24 Hours from Tulsa. This was released in 1963 as a single in advance of his fifth album, which was Blue Jean. This one was, of course, written by the legendary team of Burt Bacharach and Hal David, and was produced by Aaron Schroeder and Wally Gold. Funnily enough, I've already listened to a track on this channel that Wally Gold produced, and it couldn't have been more different. That was Kansas, Journey from Mariobron. So go and check that out after this if you want to see the where Wally went in the 70s. Now, this was a pretty big hit for Gene in the US, climbed to number 17 there, but more significantly, it launched in the UK. It reached number 5 and became his first of 10 UK top 10 singles in the 60s. All right, let's give it a listen.
Dearest, darling, I had to write to say that I won't be home anymore. For something happened to me while I was driving home, and I'm not the same anymore. Oh, I was only 24 hours from Tulsa, only one day away from your arms. I saw a welcoming light and stopped to rest for the night, and that is when I saw her as I pulled in outside of the small motel. She was there, and so I walked up to her, asked where I could get something to eat, and she showed me where. Oh, I was only 24 hours from Tulsa, only one day away from your arms. She took me to the cafe. I asked her if she would stay.
She said, okay. Sneaky Gene, shouldn't have done that. Growing up in New Zealand, the concept of being 24 hours from somewhere was like, why is he making it sound like that's not long? Tiny, tiny country, if you didn't know.
I was only 24 hours from Tulsa, only one day away from your arms. The jukebox started to play, and nighttime turned into day as we were dancing closely. All of a sudden I lost control as I held her charms, and I caressed her, kissed her, told her I'd die before I would let her out of my arms. Oh, I was only 24 hours from Tulsa, only one day away from your arms. I hate to do this to you, but I love somebody new. What can I do when I can never, never, never go home again?
Ding ding. Okay, that was 24 Hours from Tulsa. Now, I don't approve of adultery or any of that sort of thing, but it's just a well-told tale. Great vocal performance from Gene, suitably dramatic. Burt Bacharach actually did the arrangement on this as well, from my memory. It doesn't say that on Wikipedia, but that's what I recall from my copy of Gene Pitney's Big 16. Hey. Yeah. 24 Sycamore is going to have to be a little bit than I remembered to topple this one. So, well, let's dive in and see what I can tell you about that wee number. So we're actually moving on a full 10 years to get to this. Don't have much info on this one, but it appears to have been a single-only release and reached number 34 in the UK, which was actually his first UK chart entry in about 3 years at that point, from memory. And had long ago had his final US hit by this point, so he was chart history, literally, stateside by this time. And so this one was written by Liz Reed and Barry Mason, and if we thought Wally Gold producing 24 Hours from Tulsa was interesting, this is produced by Jerry Bron, right in the middle of the period that he was managing and producing a wee band called Uriah Heep. I don't know that there's many people who are fans of Gene Pitney and Uriah Heep. I might be the only one. But you certainly could not find two acts more different if you tried. Okay, let's have a listen to 24 Sycamore to see how it stacks up. I don't know this one anywhere near like as well as I know Tulsa.
I've just lost a lifetime. I have just lost my mind.
Gene duetting with himself, it seems.
Mr. World, look after that girl, the one that I just left behind at 24 Sycamore. Where did my baby go? Who's gonna mend my rainbow? Who's gonna separate colors swimming around back there on the ground, flowing right under the gate of 24 Sycamore? Where did my baby go? Windows black watched me crying, and they said, it's all over. You have lost her.
Kind of the flip side of Tulsa. You might say if he used the same person, it serves him right. Did you only have one hand?
Just one more thing to do. I'll take a last look and then close the book on someone that I once knew at 24 Sycamore. Where did my baby go?
Okay, 24 Sycamore. Yeah, it's okay. It suits his style quite nicely, and obviously he was nearing the end of his recording career at this point. Was pretty much old news even in the UK, but scraping the last couple of hits that he managed before that big surprising comeback in the late 80s with Mark Armand on Something's Gotten Hold of My Heart. Yeah, it's not a lot to say about that one, to be honest. It's not a classic. It's fine for what it is, but when we get into my winner, I don't think there's going to be any surprises at all. So, yes, I said it wouldn't be a fair fight, and so it proves. 24 Sycamore is perfectly okay, but it pales in comparison to Tulsa, which is just a stone cold all-time classic. So, no shock. 24 Hours from Tulsa is my winner for today. Now, I mentioned Sing Gene towards the end of his career, and I wasn't sure if he'd still have it, because we didn't have any way of knowing. He'd come on stage and that'd either sound awful or not. But he bounded onto stage and he opened with 24 Hours from Tulsa. It sounded as good as ever, so any doubts I had were vanquished before even the first verse was done. So maybe that memory gives me a bit of extra bias, but I really can't see me being alone on this one, which is a nice position for me to be in because I often am alone in my thoughts and opinions. But today, I feel like you're all going to say, yeah, 24 Hours from Tulsa is the clear winner. There's always room for other views, so if you actually prefer 24 Sycamore, let us know. Tell us why. But it is allowed, and there can be all sorts of reasons that songs resonate differently with different people. Maybe you heard that in your childhood, and it harkens back to those more innocent days of your youth, or any other reason that you might have to throw at us. But either way, I enjoy listening to both of those tracks, even if one is significantly better than the other to my ears. Thanks for joining me on that, and I will see you on the next video, when or indeed if that should ever happen. Bye for now.